Good evening and welcome. It's July 2nd to the special Board of Directors meeting. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Director Weatherspoon has our land acknowledgement today.
Evergreen Public Schools resides on the traditional lands of the Chinookan peoples and the Cowlitz tribe. They have lived on and cared for this land and its waterways since time immemorial. We thank them for their stewardship and make this acknowledgement to open a space of recognition, inclusion, and respect for all Indigenous students, families, and staff in our community.
Thank you, Director Weatherspoon. The next item is to adopt tonight's agenda.
I move to adopt tonight's agenda as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt tonight's agenda as presented. Before we proceed, can we confirm whether Director Gronwald is online?
I'm here.
Okay. Then we're all here and all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Next item on the agenda is a matter reserved for board action, namely the approval of the interim superintendent contract, which was presented to you in the, I guess it's the Diligent Community website now, it used to be Board Docs, and action will require a motion to approve.
I move to approve the interim superintendent contract.
Seconded.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the interim superintendent contract. So, pursuant to state law, RCW 4230-240, I'm going to open up this agenda item for public comment. This is a little different than we've done it for public comment usually in the meetings, but what I'd like you to do is, and because there's been no sign up, what I'd like you to do is if you're online and you want to make a comment about the motion and the matter at hand, to use the raise hand feature, and we'll get notification of who's interested in that. Or if you're in the room and want to give a comment, just raise your hand. When you come up, please identify yourself and your affiliation with the district, if any. And as usual, comments will not exceed 3 minutes. The board will listen but not respond to the things that you have to say. But we're opening up this public comment space before board discussion on the matter so that your voice can be heard before the board makes a decision. Is there anyone online who has a hand up? Seeing none, are there any in the room who would like to make a comment? Seeing none, we'll proceed to, this closes the public comment section for this agenda item. We'll proceed to board discussion on the matter.
Yeah, first, I want to welcome Dr. Christine Maloney. You were my top pick pretty much from the get-go, and yeah, your Chehalis School District from spring of 2021 to spring of 2023, academics rose 13%, and that kind of blew away every candidate, including the other finalists. And I love your Chehalis webpage and your Parents' Bill of Rights, being a strong parents' right advocate. And based on my phone reference calls, you came out on top, and looking at my other school board members' phone reference calls, you averaged 4.6 out of 5 of the 14 characteristics, and higher than the other 3 candidates. So coming into the interview, you were clearly on top for me. And then the interview, I felt you nailed that as well. So, and what I'm about to say has nothing to do with you. If you were Jesus Christ himself, I'd be saying the same thing here. And he was the greatest teacher of all. So, but as a new and recently elected school board member, I feel maybe more so than my fellow board members that my vote is to be reflective of the Evergreen community as a whole, representative of the parents, staff, and voters who elected me to be their voice. And it was crystal clear from the hundreds of budget survey comments and the dozens, if not about 100 school board comments that the Evergreen community as a whole believes our admin salaries are, you could put a few adjectives, too high, exorbitant, out of touch, whatever adjective you want to use. I've shared this before and felt this contract was our chance to reset the bar. And in all honesty, I, like 90% of the, or more of the Evergreen community, can't relate to $200,000 and $300,000 salaries. I retired in 2017, and my last full year of work was 2016, and even including overtime, I never made more than $52,000 so in a year. So I have trouble relating. I think 90+% of our Evergreen community has trouble relating. So, like I said, I feel that we were dealing from a position of strength here, and I thought we gave that away. So, no disrespect to you. Like I said, you were the top candidate, and if whoever was standing there, these would have to be my same comments based on the fact that it looks like the contract is, at least as it was written when I looked at it, is an increase over what we just were paying John. So, thanks. I'm done.
Okay.
Well, I would like to welcome you too, Dr. Maloney, to Evergreen. I agree with Gary that your interview was spot on. I think that, and I want to talk a little bit about the process that we went through the last, well, it's been right since end of April, that we worked with a search firm, Human Capital. They helped us with the application process and screening applicants, and we looked at over 20 applicants altogether, 25?
20.
And we had some fantastic interviews. We all did our work as a board to, as Gary mentioned, do our reference calls and do our checks. And you definitely rose to the top. And so I'm excited for you to work with us this school year, and really glad that you're here.
I also want to welcome you and your family to the district. The vote for among our finalists for you was unanimous. You rose to the top, as everyone has said before. I also believe that your salary is fair, given the work that you will do. You have a doctorate. You are our first female superintendent, and so we're very proud of that as well. And women tend to make less than men in positions of leadership, and this is not what this district stands for. She isn't making more than John. She's making what John would have made next year, from what I believe. So we'll have more conversation about that. But we're grateful that you're here, so thank you.
Jenny, do you have a comment?
I want to say welcome. Sorry I wasn't able to be there tonight to meet you in person, but I look forward to working with you over the next year. And welcome to Evergreen.
And just so that it's a little bit clearer than I guess we put it in the motion, this is to adopt a contract for Dr. Christine Maloney, recently of the Chehalis Public School District. And as my colleagues have said, this is really exciting. I felt the same way as they did, is that unanimously you came out on top with the interviews and with the materials that you provided to us, and I'm really looking forward to the work this year. I was especially happy about the way that you described the importance of relationships and the desire to build strong and empathetic relationships. And that's something that I'm personally about, and that the board considers a very high priority. So, welcome. Provided, well, we'll go ahead and, if there are no more comments, we'll go ahead and take the vote and then proceed from there. The motion is to adopt the interim superintendent employment agreement as presented to the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Nay.
4 in favor, 1 opposed. The motion carries. Thank you and welcome. Okay. Next item. Oh, wait. There we are. Thank you. The next item on our agenda is an introduction of Dr. Maloney as our interim superintendent. And what I'd like to ask you to do, Dr. Maloney, is to come up and join us in the superintendent chair, and then use the mic to tell the community who you are by way of introduction, and we'll proceed from there.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bring it a little close to your mouth, and the light should be on.
Light should be on. Hello?
Yep.
Oh, there we are. Wow. Thank you. I am honored to be here today and to start my year with the Evergreen Public Schools. I am just ecstatic. I'm thrilled to be sitting here today. And I want to point out I do have my husband here, Dave, of 25 plus years, and my son, Jonathan, who is 16 and will be a junior in one of the high schools here at Evergreen Public Schools coming up. I have a 20-year-old daughter who is attending PLU and studying to be an art teacher. So she's going into education, so she couldn't be here tonight because she has a job. But when I researched Evergreen Public Schools, when this opportunity came open, I was so impressed with the strong staff that really honestly shows an incredible dedication to their students. It's not just the staff, it's the bus drivers, the custodians, the administrators, all working together to help each child be successful. And the strategic plan that was that I reviewed talked about belonging for each and success for all. And that is at the heart of what I do. I have a passion for education and a heart for students, and this just seemed to just completely reflect my own personal values. One of the things I talk about when people ask me says, well, why are you in education? Why do you do what you do? And what drives you? What motivates you? And I have something that's kind of maybe a little elementary-ish, but it works for me, and it helps describe a little bit about what I'm about as a leader, and that's the 3 R's. Right? So not just reading, writing, and arithmetic, but it's 3 R's. So the first one really is relationships. And that is so important to me because nobody cares what you know unless they know that you care. And that is a foundation for everything that I do as a leader, is I build strong relationships that are respectful. Even if we disagree, we respect each other, and we move forward for the betterment of our students and our staff. And that's really, really important to me. So relationships is number one, because that's where you build from. Rigor is another one. High expectations. It's important for me to be able to support staff, administrators, and teachers to have high expectations for students and to make sure that students can reach those high expectations. They need to have the scaffolding. They need to have the support built in to their classes and within the classrooms to make sure that they can reach those high standards. That's very important for me. And then the last one is relevance, because the kids need to know what's happening in the classroom really does relate to what they want to do when they graduate and move on to whatever post-secondary opportunity that they desire. And making that connection, making it relevant to them and their cultural backgrounds and the things that they bring with them into the classrooms to help them make that connection to move forward. And so those are my 3 R's. And the other piece that kind of falls over the top of all of that, it kind of surrounds it like an umbrella, is being culturally responsive. And that is something that I strive on a daily basis to be, is culturally responsive leader and to help support those around me. And I'm constantly learning and constantly growing in that area. And that is something that is so important, to have culturally responsive classrooms for our students so that they can thrive and learn in a safe place where they feel that they belong, and that they can each have success as a learner and then go on to adulthood and do great things in their lives and in their community. And so I wanted to be part of Evergreen Public Schools, and this opportunity is just fantastic. And I appreciate your confidence in me, and I know your support going forward to do the best job that I can possibly do and bring that to you as a board, bring it to the community, to the different unions and labor relations that we have in EPS that really help support our students, from the bus drivers to the teachers to the administrators, and be part of this great community, because there's incredible things that are happening in Evergreen, and I want to build on that foundation and help move us forward. So thank you again. I'm very appreciative.
Thank you. Okay, the next item on our agenda is board comments. Comments by the school board, if there are any others. No?
Yeah, I'll just say once again, my vote was just strictly monetary-wise. That was, everything else was great, so thanks. Yeah.
Appreciate that. Jenny, do you have any more comments?
No, nothing else for me.
Thank you. Okay, that concludes board comments. And we'll call for an adjournment now. Our next meeting is next Tuesday at 5:30 for our regular board meeting in July. Meeting is adjourned.